I am really craving a sweet, delicious, pumpkin-y dessert right about now. But I don't need sugar, and I don't want it to have any flour in it. What could I make? I got it! Hi family and friends, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a delicious pumpkin cinnamon mug cake. That is a mug cake. Okay, let's get started and talk about all of the paraphernalia you're going to need to whip this little mug cake up together, plus all of the ingredients that you're going to need for this. You are going to need half a tablespoon of butter. You will need 1 large egg, 3 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, and make sure you get the pumpkin, plain pumpkin, don't get the pumpkin pie blend because that has all your sugar. You just want pumpkin. You are going to need a half of a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I made this once before and actually used like a quarter teaspoon of vanilla and a quarter teaspoon of maple extract, and that was actually a very delicious combination. They also have this pumpkin pie spice McCormick came out with. I haven't tried that before, but I guess that's something you could use as well. If you like a really strong pumpkin pie flavor, I guess that would be a good choice. You're going to need a scoop of vanilla protein powder, and this is the kind that I'm using today. I found this one to be really a light vanilla flavor. It doesn't have a strong like vitamin aftertaste. I've tried a lot of protein powders and it's hard to get one that doesn't taste like it has 3,000 vitamins in it. This one's actually pretty good. I got this at Target. It has 20 grams of protein. It has 130 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, and it has 0 net carbs, but it has a lot of your vitamins in it. This is vegetable based and there is no soy in it at all. So that is a very good choice for me or for anybody that has like thyroid disease, which I do. I have to stay away from soy products. You will need a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, or you could just use cinnamon or mix up your own. Cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, and you could, make your own, I'm sure. You also will need a half of teaspoon of baking powder, and you're going to need a sweetener. And the sweetener I'm using is monk fruit sweetener, 0 calories. This has no glycemic effect on your body. It's based on erythritol and monk fruit extract. So this I have found to be the closest to actual sugar. It tastes really good. I could eat this by the spoonful. I won't do that because it's very expensive. But this is a good choice. It's just kind of hard to find. I found this one at Giant in West York, but you can order it off of Amazon, and I'm sure they have it at health food stores. Where are the health food stores around here anyway? I don't know. You could also use stevia. You could use Splenda. Equal has this blend out, which is not really the best choice, but it tastes pretty good, and it is a mixture of erythritol, dextrose, and sucralose, so it does have a little bit of sugar. It has 2 carbs. Well, it's like 1 net carb, but if you're not strict keto and you don't mind fudging it a little bit for a little extra sugary flavor, I like that. I wouldn't use it a lot or all the time, but occasionally it's okay. This is totally optional, but you could also put in a little pinch of salt, like Himalayan pink salt is a good choice. And that is it for your the things that you need. Oh, and I guess obviously you need a mug because it's a mug cake. You need a mug. You make sure you get a decent sized mug and not like a little teacup because it will rise up. It'll get pretty high, or it could get up pretty high out of the mug and as it's baking in the microwave. So you don't want a little mug. You could use like a soup, some kind of like a soup cup like this, or if you're really a fancy chef, you might have a ramekin, but I do not have a ramekin. All you're going to do is put all of the ingredients in the mug. You don't need any other bowl to mix things up in. Everything gets done, and you can eat it right out of the mug too. So there's that. Okay, any questions? Too bad you can't ask me. So let's get started whipping up this mug cake. We are going to start off with a 1/2 tablespoon of butter, and I'm just going to guesstimate this. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to melt this in the microwave. About 10 seconds should do it. Maybe 10 more. Okay, I melted that in the microwave for about 15 seconds, and what you want to do with this is just swirl it around your cup to coat all the sides. Try not to pour it out like I almost did. Alright, so next into the mug are going to go your wet ingredients. So we're going to put the egg in, the pumpkin puree, and the vanilla extract, and we're going to combine all of that with a fork or your little whisk. This calls for 3 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, but you could probably use less if you're trying to keep the carbs a little bit lower. Although according to the recipe, this mug cake, the way the recipe shows you, is only 3 net carbs to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and just do it the way the recipe tells you. So I'm going to do 3 tablespoons. And we're going to get the vanilla extract, and we need 1/2 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Okay, let's go ahead and whip that up. Alright, that looks good. Alright, now we're going to add our dry ingredients. So we're going to do a scoop of the protein powder. You could sift this, I guess, if you wanted to. I don't think you really need to for this. We are going to use I need to open it this way. A teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, or cinnamon if you wanted to use that instead. And we're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, use a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And then finally we are going to use a 1/2 tablespoon of your sweetener. And I am going to use this. And I don't have a 1/2 tablespoon, so I'm just gonna, whatever. Close enough. Baking is not an exact science, in my opinion. Alright, we're gonna mix that up. Let's give that a good mix. Alright, so now we have this cake-like batter. I'm gonna kind of flatten it out in here a little bit. So when it cooks a little more evenly. I don't know if you really need to do that, but I'm doing it. Alright, let's get all the yumminess off of the spatula here. Into my mug. Alright, now we have all of the ingredients whipped up together into our mug, and we're ready to pop this into the microwave. The directions say to put it in for 70 to 80 seconds. Obviously, if you like your pumpkin, your cake to be a little more soft, some people like it more like a lava cake, you know, like softer on the inside. Put it in for a little less, 60 seconds may be enough, but we'll go ahead and I'm going to give it 70 seconds and see how that goes. So here we go. Alright, we're going to pop it in there for 70 seconds as per the directions. Alright, let's take a look at that. That is pretty hot. I don't know, it still seems really, really soft. I'm going to give it another 10 seconds. Here is our mug cake straight out of the microwave. It is piping hot right now. And as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but it is definitely cake-like. All right, I'm going to take this out of the mug just so I can cut it in half and show you what it looks like on the inside. As I said before, you can eat this straight out of the mug. I'm just going to pop it out of here so I can show you what it looks like. And it looks like a ball. I'm going to turn that over. And it is as hot as lava right now. Let me show you what it looks like cut in half. So you can see that it is like a legit cake. Look at that. I mean, that's gorgeous. That looks like cake. You can, I'm going to put this back in there. You could make a little cream cheese glaze to go over that, and that's really easy to make too. You could take a tablespoon of cream cheese, like a half a tablespoon, or maybe a teaspoon of butter, a little vanilla, sweetener if you want to, and just microwave that in the oven for a few seconds until it melts. And drizzle that over the top. It is delightful, believe me. The other thing I wanted to mention is that if you don't have protein powder, you can use 3 tablespoons or like a 1/4 cup of almond flour instead in its place. That will change the calories. It will add a lot of extra, well, a few extra calories. But if you don't have protein powder or you just don't like the taste of protein powder, you can substitute almond flour. And I've also seen some recipes where they have used 2 tablespoons of almond flour and like a teaspoon of coconut flour is another option if you don't have protein powder or you don't want to use protein powder. There are a ton of mug cake recipes out on the internet, whether they're sugar-free or not sugar-free. I mean, you've probably already heard about mug cakes. If you're cutting out the sugars, it's really hard to find a cakey dessert unless you make one yourself. So this is just, I found to be a delicious option, especially with Thanksgiving coming up and you want to have a dessert while everybody else is eating a dessert. And I've even seen some sugar-free, keto-friendly pumpkin pie recipes, which I am definitely going to be trying out to make one so that I have a pumpkin pie to enjoy on Thanksgiving as well. I gotta taste this thing. I've already tried this recipe before, so I already know it's delicious. It's just really hot. It's cake. It tastes like cake. I think this one could have used a little extra sweetener, or maybe that that glaze that I was talking about. I think the last time I made this, I did add extra sweetener to it, but it's still really good. It's really delicious. And I feel like I can eat dessert now and not blow my diet. If you are eating a ketogenic diet, you can have Cool Whip on the top of here because this is made with real cream. It only has 1 carb in it. I mean, you don't want to go crazy with this because it does have sugar in it, but it's mostly made of heavy whipping cream, which you can have. This is the extra sugar I needed. That's what it needed. Or the cream cheese glaze, which is very good. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and let me know if you would like to try this recipe yourself. Let me know how it turns out. All right, have a great day. See ya in my next video if I ever make another one. Just kidding. I have a couple more I'm thinking about making. I am going to continue eating this. As soon as I turn that camera off, believe me, I will be eating the rest of this. It is so good. Yummy. Bye, everyone.